Hi everyone and welcome back to episode 3 of my Munro journey. Today I'll be showing you the footage of An Socach in the Grampians region. And I did this one with my mates Keir and Owen. After finishing my plan of routing out all the munros in Scotland, I've seen that An Socach could have been done with another 4 different munros. At the time of making this I didn't know that, so in my plan I have 96 walks, and that will cover all 282 munros. Some munros you're just doing one in a day, but one of the days there's up to 12 munros that you have to do, and that would be over a 2-day period. But An Socach is another good starter one to do, just to strengthen up the knees and a bit of the hips a bit more, and just get used to hiking in general. Yeah, here you see the route that we took. It's more or less the same up and down, but we did slightly vary off track on the way back. As you can see, the lines don't perfectly match up against each other, but it's fairly straightforward, this one. And the app said the total time we took was 5 hours and 6 minutes. Yeah, and the timing on the Walk Highland website did say 5 to 6 hours. I'm not sure if I am going to continue the Walk Highlands theme, just because a lot of the routes that I have drawn out, a lot of them don't even use the Walk Highlands website, so I might just tell you my time, but not actually try and beat the specific time that's on the website. But for this Munro, you start at a verge parking on the A93 near Baddock Farm track, and you just head through these big gates to start off your walk.
7 here last night, going from like -7 to about 4 or 5 degrees.
Right, I'm not getting back on that, right?
Yeah.
I'll just interject here to explain my laugh. A lot of people think when I laugh I'm fake laughing just because it sounds so bad, but I do genuinely find their jokes funny. I'm just, my laugh is just so bad and it just sounds fake when I actually genuinely do find stuff funny. But yeah, when you get to this path you take the Y junction at the left and then you continue on. This is a big horses field, so there's a lot of horses that we saw here. Yeah, when you continue up the path you'll just get to this house, but you just continue on the path. A lot of this walk is walking into the valley before you do start to climb up the Munro, but it is a fairly easily navigationable Munro. Just where the red dot is flashing is where we were walking over the bridge, where we were deciding if this was a good spot to do
here's
our
perfect,
cold water
isn't it?
exposure, and
Right in
we
there.
did think it was deep enough to do it, so we knew this was the spot to do it when we were coming back.
We drove under the bridge, there's in there of water.
A couple of folk coming past. Oh, here's a couple of guys here. We're under the bridge. We're like, oi!
Do you take a cold shower when you go in the house, or do you just take a cold bath outside?
I used to do a cold bath outside, then for like 3 weeks I never done any cold showers. And Dan was like, I just done the coldest setting with cold shower, and I was like, right, let's start doing some cold shower. So I never really used the tub, so it's different because the cold tub is sort of going and it's a bit therapeutic. It's more like, you know, on a long walk, good for the legs.
Out, yeah.
But the shower you go in, it's sort of like more of a buzz.
Once you follow the path long enough, you'll get to this river, and you basically follow the river up the hill, and you'll see a cairn in the far distance that I'll point out in a second, and you basically aim towards the cairn. So just at the top left here, you do see a small cairn in the distance. You'll see it clearer when you get a bit closer, but there's quite a few paths going up, so you basically just aim for the cairn and go, but there's no direct route that you have to go basically. So the red dot is where the cairn is, and as you can see now, there's the cairn. It did take us roughly just over an hour to get there. On the top right of your corner, you can clearly see the east summit of An Socach, and it can be seen clearly from the cairn. And here's just a view of what it looks like at the cairn. It was still pretty snowy, but the snow was fine to walk on. It was quite soft, and we weren't sliding about that much. As we were getting closer at the top, it was getting colder and colder, as it would on most Munros, but I didn't have any windproof gloves and the wind was seriously nippy on my fingers. But we managed to get to the top of the east summit in just under 2 hours.
Oh, I bet it's over there.
We sat at the top of the east summit for about 10 minutes and we just had our lunch, where we continued our walk over to the west summit, but my fingers were so cold at this point I didn't really get that much footage over to that summit. I had my jacket like up the other sleeve basically, just trying to keep my fingers warm. I wasn't speaking that much, and honestly I just wanted to get off that mountain like so much, but eventually my fingers did start to warm up and I wasn't hating it as much anymore. And it honestly doesn't look that cold or windy, but yeah, Kieran and Owen were just talking about getting in the river, and yeah, I was in a complete different place to them. Like, that was the last thing I wanted to do.
Look at a little bit. That's over there.
Hi.
We eventually got to the summit in just over 2.5 hours, which was a pretty good pace. But yeah, it was really cloudy at the top. I don't know why I started taking a view of the landscape, because you couldn't see anything, so it was pretty pointless. We only stayed up the west summit for 2 minutes because there's really nothing to do up there, so we just started making our way back to the east summit, where I found in my bag I had some like crack open hand warmers, so I had them, and oh my god, that was an absolute game changer. Also, would you be able to let me know in the comments section down below what sort of stuff you enjoy seeing? Do you enjoy seeing more of the Google Maps side? Do you enjoy seeing more of the walking side? Do you enjoy seeing more of the cold exposure? Like, yous are the ones watching it at the end of the day, so if you let me know, then I can start shooting more of that. Yeah, we came off the mountain and we got back onto the Land Rover track at about 4 hours time, and yeah, here comes the bridge where we're about to do our cold water exposure.
Oh, bit deeper under here. Right underneath.
This thing's like falling.
I'll go this way, mate. I'll let you
Coming over the bum.
This was Owen's first time doing a cold exposure, and he didn't bring any shoes, so he thought it'd be a good idea to dangle in from the bridge, but it worked out eventually.
Nice. Nice.
Nice.
Oh. You can sit down quite good.
We were lucky that no one was there walking past to see us, because they think we're absolute bonkers. The definitely worst bit of this is the first 20 seconds. Once you've literally stayed in about 20 seconds, a lot of the pain goes away and you can just relax, and it does feel much better after the first 20 seconds.
I'm sitting in.
As you can tell by the beeps, that was the one done. You done pretty well for this first time. You did up to about a minute, so yeah, pretty impressive.
Walking again.
The top half of the body's not bad. It's the toes.
Aye.
Yeah, this time I lasted about 2.5 minutes, which was much better than just like my 40 seconds, as much as I lasted last time. Yeah, I was doing a really stupid walk just because I literally couldn't feel my body, so yeah, that's why I looked so daft.
Look, when you go on this time, it'll be so much warmer, trust me.
So we decided that we'd go back in but get our heads under this time, so this is why we're having a second attempt. Here I am just trying to psych myself up before I go under.
Oh my god!
Good lad, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really good for your muscles and that. With the shower, it's sort of a wee burst. It's a wee sort of like.
After we got dried and changed, we headed back along the Land Rover track, back towards the cars. We ended up finishing the walk in 4 hours 44 minutes, which was a pretty quick time. And now let's time get some stats. So, An Socach was my 4th Munro that I've completed, and it is the 227th tallest Munro in Scotland. The total distance was just under 16 kilometres, and it took a total time of 5 hours 10 minutes, but taking off all of the stops and the cold exposure, the final time was 4 hours and 46 minutes. My Fitbit said I burned 4,262 calories with an average heart rate of 116 beats per minute, and again the total average speed was 3.3 kilometers. I'd give this rating a 3. I think it's just because I didn't like the part just at the top and it was so cold. And the difficulty 2.5. It's quite a quick Munro. It's quite easy, so yeah, I'll be giving that 2.5 views. Couldn't really see much, so I have to give it just 2.5. And the speed was 4.5, just because again it's one of the faster Munros that you'll get. So yeah, it was really good. And yeah, leave a comment on the video saying what sort of things you want to see more in the video, so I can just show them throughout all my Munro walks that I'm going to do. And if you're interested in the plan that I have wrote, then put that in the comment section down below as well. Thanks for watching again. I've got over 100 more videos that I'm going to post on this channel of all the Munro walks, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up because I'd really appreciate it, and consider subscribing if you want to see more videos like this. See you in the next one.